Alright, we're back. And let me tell you, the next two articles are not going to make a lick of sense. Because I can already tell my head is up right now. I'm going to have words with this. My 18-year-old side, the last of my teen years, I remember going to the prom. I actually remember this issue I had when I was going through my prom. My date, who was a childhood friend of mine, didn't have a good time because of the way this happened. And mind you, these videos are going to be posted back to back. So then after that, I'll probably do another part of Willow and then post that too. Anyway, teen booted from prom after being told dress sparked impure thoughts. Well, I'm not gonna listen to what y'all say. Chesterfield County, Virginia. A girl says she was kicked out of a homeschool prom after some fathers at the dance said her dress evoked impure thoughts. WTVR reports. Gee, I wonder why. The 17-year-old. I can click on this. Yeah. Where are these impure thoughts at? Where? Where are these? God, so stupid. The 17-year-old was at the Richmond homeschool prom's Twilight in Paris dance when the incident occurred. The station says dresses had to be fingertip length. The girl's family says the dress met the requirement, but she was told to leave after some fathers who were chaperoning said her dress was too short and her dancing was too provocative. After the incident, the girl wrote about her experience in a blog. In part, she wrote some of the fathers had complained her dancing was too provocative, quote unquote, and that it was going to, quote unquote, cause young men at the prom to think impure thoughts. There has been no comment from the dance organizers. Okay, first off, like I said, this is from what I remember from my prom. I would think that if you're going to the prom, you would just dance because it's you're celebrating the last moments of high school. You're not gonna get that chance ever again. That's what I've come to understand about prom. When you go to prom, you're supposed to make it enjoyable, memorable, make it last for as long as you can make it. Sure, I mean, there have been some impure thoughts happening when I was preparing to go through my prom, and most likely, it's just peer pressure about sex. Now, honestly, to be quite honest, when you think about it, the fathers are saying that they're watching her dance too provocatively. Okay, first off, maybe it's you, and I mean to the fathers. To the fathers who were watching her, maybe you were getting impure thoughts. if she was dancing a certain way because you couldn't get it up at home, and you're thinking you see some young little fox enjoy herself, and yeah, so she's shaking it. So what? Why are you worried about it? I'm not. I'm not. You know. You're supposed to dance. What's wrong? You're supposed to dance. You're supposed to have a good time. You're supposed to make the most of the night. Even if you go to after party, which I never did. Make the most of the night. Whether you are going to dance throughout the prom and to the after party, or if you're just going to just do the prom and that's it. Let's see. Does anybody say this? Yeah. To all the comments, I say yeah to that. Like I said before, if you're talking about this dress, I'm like, okay, first off, I saw the dress. The dress didn't look half bad. The dress didn't show any piece of cleavage, as far as I can tell. It didn't show off no part of the chest or the backside area. I don't see any, I mean, the dress, as I could tell, as I saw it, the dress looked presentable. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It didn't, it's actually much better than, the things I've seen online, like these selfies. And y'all know what I'm talking about. If you go on Facebook and you see a lot of selfies, people just clicking on themselves and looking all through it. And if you saw my face, you'd just be like they're divas or something. They're no way near divas, okay? But as I said, I mean, you look at this dress right here. Do you see anything wrong with this dress? I certainly don't, because it's just, it's presentable. It's not that bad. It truly is, and truly nuts in all directions, yeah. Because really, if you really think about it, I'll share my prom experience, okay? The entire time, from when I was getting out of school to the night of going to the prom, I was getting my hair done. I was getting my nails. I was getting my nails and everything done. And the only thing I kept hearing all the time was, "Am I going to get laid?" Now that's a funny thing. Am I going to get laid? That's the entirety of the whole thing from my perspective. That's all I heard coming from the guys who were, making me look good. And all I heard was, am I going to get laid? Am I going to get lucky? Am I going to be knocking boots? Am I going to be doing this? I'm like, no. And I kept hearing this stuff about tradition. Like, what kind of tradition is that? I don't do that shit. It's like, it's high school. I'm only thinking about one thing. I want to graduate. It was my graduating year, so the one thing I wanted to do is graduate. And the only thing I've dealt with when I was at prom was all the teachers that ever had me in their classes. They gave me a smile. They complimented me, and they complimented my date. My date was, of course, a childhood friend of mine. The one thing that she went through that's somewhat resembling this case or this article here is the fact that she went through that mess too, because it was prep school I went to. It was a college prep school. And if you live in if you live in California where I am, then maybe you have heard of this place, George Washington Preparatory High. And for those who actually remember the principal there, Miss Marguerite Lamont, who always said, young man, tuck in your shirt, do this, do that. I don't want to see any underwear. I want to see you looking like an upstanding individual. And that's all I was, an upstanding individual. They never had anything to say about me because I kept wearing, even when I wasn't wearing uniform, I kept wearing the colors of the uniform because I figured, I can somehow break out of wearing uniform. So uniform is like, to me, I'm wearing uniform. So that was my thing. Anyway, the entirety of the whole thing was the fact that I was going to prom. I took my date there, and after she had went through all this debacle about what she was wearing, she really wasn't in the mood to dance ever since, or even take a picture. And I still have the picture to this day. And I'm the only one smiling in the picture. She's like in a daze or in a stance, and I'm like, okay. She could have at least did a little grimace or something. If not that or anything else, that would have been something. But I had to say this. In between all this, the only thing that happened that supposedly should have happened was this. My mom telling me something important to me, which never happened because the old man freaked the flip out because he has a camera, and plus he wanted me to rush on out to the limo and go. I really wanted to hear what my mom had to say. Of course, there's a whole lot of things going on, and it's just crazy. And really, that's the only thing I really wanted to hear. I really wanted to hear what my mom wanted to tell me. But this is just stupid. This almost happened, mind you. My date was almost booted from my prom, but apparently, they let her through. Because, she wasn't from my school, so therefore, she wasn't aware. I would say, it's prom, let it go for, just let it go for one night. Stop being so stiff-necked, prim, proper, and say, make sure that you keep your pants zipped, and what you need to do is, young lady, do not show any boobies or audacity. You will indeed be made to step out of the event prior to the course, and I'm sorry, but you will not be welcome here. This is a school. This is supposed to be a school of enlightenment. It is supposed to ready you for college. And for some reason, I am the principal, and you will understand these rules and regulations even on prom night. George Washington Preparatory High School. Give me a second here. Gotta clear my thoughts for the last of these articles, which is the top 15 terrible baby name meanings. Oh, yeah, this is going to be beautiful. Oh, give me a second here. Okay. 15 terrible baby name meanings. And this article is from mom.me. Oh boy. What's in a name? Boy, that sounds like Castlevania right there. What's in a name? Oh. I'm sorry. You know I was going to pull out that joke. A lot as it turns out! Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know. What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets? Yeah, you know I had to go there. Yes, I know. The name game. Naming a child is an agonizing process. Will this name sound as nice as when she's 30 years old instead of 3? Could kids make mean nicknames out of that name? Is this one too trendy? Is that one too traditional? In case if you haven't thought about this enough, we rounded up 10 names with questionable meanings to further your amusement and paranoia. Cue audible groans as we ask, what's her name? You might be surprised. Alright. Number 1, Cecilia. I understand that. Meaning blind in Latin. The story. The name is a feminine version of Cecilia, an old Roman name with Latin origins, meaning blind. Saint Cecilia is also the patron saint of musicians, which admittedly sounds cool. Why is cringeworthy? While love may be blind, no one really wants to be known as dim-sighted. Next. Gideon. Number 2. Meaning stump for hand. The story, another biblical name. Gideon refers to a judge who successfully led the Israelites in a battle against the Midianites. Why is cringeworthy? A stump for hand. Seriously. Need we say more? But despite its less than stellar meaning, Gideon has actually been on an upward rise in popularity among parents. To each their own, we say. By the way, I will give my own thoughts about this after I'm done with the names. Next, Campbell. Campbell. Meaning crooked mouth. Or crooked mouth. It's Gaelic. The story? This rough and tumble Scottish name historically refers to a Highland clan and its most distinctive feature, a crooked mouth. Of course, in Gaelic, cam means crooked and bill means mouth. Why is cringeworthy? This one speaks for itself. Yeah, but don't we all have crooked mouths? So aren't we all Campbells? Soup is good food. Next, Portia. Really? Meaning pig in Latin. Erche uye. Ipusate. The story, Portia is a Latin name derived from the word porcus or porcius, which, as you may have figured out, means pig. Why is cringeworthy? Explain why this name's meaning is a bit a bummer, but surely you don't have to ask. Next. Kennedy! Oh, God, yes, I did it. Meaning deformed head in Gaelic. The story, Kennedy, is a form of the masculine Irish name Shenady, which divides into two parts. Shen A kin, which means head, and ide, which means ugly. Why is cringeworthy? Babies have perfect heads, and we don't need Kennedys thinking otherwise when they find out the hidden meaning behind their name. Next, Cameron, meaning crooked nose in Scottish. The story Cameron comes from two words in the Gaelic language. Cam, meaning crooked, bent or hooked, and Sean, meaning nose. Why is cringeworthy? Nothing like giving your child giving your child a complex about his appearance before he reaches grade school. Come on. Huh. Lorelei. Lorelei. Meaning lurking rock in German. The story Lorelei can be divided in two parts. The German verb lure, which means to lurk, and the Celtic word le, or lie, which means rock. It's also the name of a rock on the Rhine River in Germany. Why is cringeworthy? According to German legend, Lorelei was a siren who lured men's ships towards a rocky section of the Rhine, where they crash and die. A little diabolical for our taste. Calvin, meaning ball in Latin. The story Calvin started all as the French last name for Calvin, which is derived for ball calve. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but that's what I'm getting at. The name's most famous bearer was French theologian Jean Calvin. His name was translated into the Latin Calvinus, or Calvus meaning bold in Latin. And in English, he's known as John Calvin. Calv. Why is cringeworthy? Well, it's sort of appropriate just after birth, but after that, the name's meaning probably, hopefully, won't fit the bill until after at least 40 years later. Calv. Next, Mallory, meaning luckless or unfortunate in French. The story Mallory comes from the old French surname Malloret, which means unfortunate one. Why is cringeworthy? Something irks us about labeling a child as unlucky from the moment she enters this world. You know what they say about karma? Avery. Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Meaning ruler of the O's, Anglo-Saxon. The story before it was a first name, Avery was an English last name, which itself was derived from the old French name Alfred. Alfred breaks down into the old words of Al, which means elf, and Fred, and Red, which means council. Why is cringeworthy? On the plus side, if you're going to be an elf, you may as well be ruler. On the negative side, we can't stop picturing mythical creatures and Middle Earth. Oh God. Next, we have Olivia, meaning elf army in English. The story Olivia was first used as a girl's name in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, while according to Latin interpretation, it simply means olive branch. Olivia is also known as a feminine version of Oliver, which means, yes, elf army. It comes from the Lower German name Alfiar, which breaks down into Ulf, meaning elf, and Ari, which means army. Why is cringeworthy? See name Avery. Apparently, elves are kind of a big deal in the realm of humorous baby names. Enjoy the game, Mag. Again, what is wrong? What is? Never mind. I'll just share it with. I'll just share it. I'll just share my thoughts afterwards. Molly, meaning bitter in Hebrew. The story Molly is a diminutive form of the biblical name Mary. When broken down into Hebrew, Mary uses the consonants M, R, and R, which put together mean bitter. Uh-huh. Lola, meaning Lady of Sorrows in Spanish. The story Lola is the short version of the Spanish name Dolores, which is derived from the Spanish word Dolores, meaning sorrows. Why is cringeworthy? Because the obvious connection to the sultry song most parents won't want their little girl associated with whatever Lola wants. There's just there's something just plain sad, for lack of a better word, about starting out life marked as a woman of sorrows. Leah, meaning wary in Hebrew. The story, this Hebrew name refers to the Leah of the Bible, who was the unwanted first wife of Jacob, who really wanted her hot younger sister Rachel instead. Why is cringeworthy? It's a pretty enough sounding name, and parents may be feeling tired those first sleep deprived months, but who really wants to look up their name in the future only to discover it means something so lackluster and negative? Okay, first off, if you really think about it, I'm going to go backwards. Starting with this. Leia is also a name in the E series, because there are two goddesses, Fina and Rey, or Rey or Lei. Sometimes I pronounce it as Leia, or sometimes it's Lei, or Rey, or Re, or however it's pronounced. But really, I don't see nothing wrong with his name. I mean, it's silly. It's silly. It's really silly. It's like, okay, so you're actually going to go by the meaning of what your name means. That decides what your life is going to be like. Your name means you're wary. And you're going to go by this? Honestly, that's stupid. It's the same as Lola. You're actually going to go by that name just because. Let's see. Lola, Molly, Olivia, Avery, Mallory, Calvin, Lorelai, Cameron, Kennedy, Portia, Campbell, Gideon, Cecilia. I'm sorry, but if you're really gonna go by what your name means, or if you're gonna go by what if you're gonna actually go by what your name means, come on now, that don't make no sense. What even makes no sense at all, and I never told anybody this because because of my name. And here's the thing about my name. My name used to be a problem for some people because they couldn't spell it right. My actual name is Israel. That's Israel. Translated, it means soldier of light. And of course, if you ever read the Bible, the guy then name before he was changed to the name I just said was Jacob. As a matter of fact, while we're doing this right now, that dog, I swear to God, that dog don't make no sense in that barking. We're actually on a Wikipedia this thing right now. We're actually going to look up my name. There we go. My actual name. Yeah. Yeah, see, it can either be spelled with a Z or, with an S. Yeah, I have a long history, as you can tell. I am part of the 12 tribes. Name. Let's look up a name. And you wonder why I call myself the Tenkaichi, huh? In Israel, it means who prevails with God, triumphs with God. Some saying to rule, be strong, authority over, blah 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 blah. Other possible meanings: Prince of God, he who fights. And yeah, as you can see, yeah, this name right there, is a whole line of what my actual name means. So therefore, I don't really go by my actual name because my name can easily be so messed up because some people spell it Israel, Izrael, and my name is actually spelled Israel. So I don't really like to be called by that name. I know my name is Hebrew. That's the backstory of it. My name is just Hebrew. But yeah, just now I know it's like, oh hey, no, just please keep calling me Izzy. Please, just please, that's all I gotta say. But yeah, that's pretty much my name in a nutshell. So if you want to look up my name, go wiki it yourself. Go wiki it yourself. Now the secret's out. Yeah, the secret's out because I never, in all my life, gone by my name. The only people who actually call me by my name are my parents. My parents call me by my actual name. I'm hardly ever called by my nickname, which my friends call me Izzy. So therefore, it's like there's a reason why I like being called Izzy more than I like being called Israel, because I don't want people tripping over my actual name. And you wonder why and like I said before, you wonder why I call myself the Tenkaichi. The Tenkaichi is a strong name. It means the one who stands strong under heaven, or you know, unique under heaven. My name is somewhat related to being called. My actual name is somewhat close to the title I give myself. Like I said, that's a self-proclaimed title I give myself because I like to give the best I can do. That's what the Tenkaichi. That's what Tenkaichi mean. The best of the best. The strongest under heaven. The one strongest under heaven. Tenkaichi. Why did it have to be about that? Well, like I said, it's technically part of a baby name. And now imagine, if you will, what my father almost named me. My father almost named me after my uncle, who went by the name Isador. I could have been called Isadora because of my uncle being called Isadora. I would have been so messed up if I was called Isadora instead of Israel. And this is the first time I've actually said my name in a long time because I don't really say my name like that. It's not that I'm not proud of my name. It's just I've come to like my nickname, which is Izzy, because most people call me Izzy. Even at work, when I used to be a teacher, that's what I was known as, Mr. Izzy. Because nobody want to trip over my name. I don't want people to trip over my name. Because all you need to do is put an M on it, and put an M in front of in front of the I, and that's what you're gonna get. Miserable, miserable. Yeah, you're gonna be miserable. You're not gonna be Israel. You're not gonna be Israel. You're gonna be miserable. Mis- that and like I said, to me that don't sound right. And I don't like. I don't like that. I don't want people to mess up my name just because it's in the Bible and it's Hebrew and it has all sorts of history behind it. So yeah, there's a reason why I do not like to be called by that name because, like I said, it's painful. I don't want people to trip over my name just because they can't spell it right or they can't say it right. But my name isn't terrible. It just has a lot of weight behind it, which compared to this article here. The names that I have just spoken about are quite tame. They aren't terrible. They're really quite tame. I think people just overthink these things when it comes to names and whatnot. It doesn't make no sense, but they like to, trip balls over it, They like to make it more stupid than they technically let on. And that don't make no goddamn sense. I mean, what's in a name, You should just wear your name with pride. Just make sure your name actually means something positive. When somebody asks you, what does your name mean? Because trust me, there are some positives in having a name. Just don't go with the negatives. Go with the positive. That's all I can say. And with that, with these articles, these 4 articles that I've done in 2 videos, I am completely done. So I will have all the links in both videos from 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 in said 2 videos. So with that, I am going to call it here with this video, because I think I've said enough to last a while. And until the next kind of craziness that I happen to do, I have been proudly the Tenkaichi of gaming and the underdog of the underrated Pookie Izzy 7. Gamer, otaku, author, poet, and all around good guy of the interwebs. And I'll see you next time with more videos. So I have spoken, and I am indeed out. Take care, and Tenkai Musa.